Good evening.
Thank you. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. And September is the World Alzheimer's Awareness Month. The whole month of September is the Alzheimer's Awareness Month. And at the Memory Cafe, where we keep trying to find out ways by which we can improve our memory and improve our lifestyle, I thought it's important for us to just revise a little bit about understanding what dementia is in this series of sessions in the month of September. And as you rightly said, we need to stand for each other as like the sunflower who turns towards each other and exchanges energy. We need to be there for each other and stand for each other. What we are told to do in the month of September this year is to change our attitudes towards people with dementia. The word dementia itself tells us a lot of things. For example, the D reminds us about the decline in memory. So this is one of the characteristic feature of people with dementia is there is a decline in memory, and this is a progressive memory loss that takes place in them. They will forget things that are more recently done. So it's more recent memory that is lost compared to the past. Be able to talk about the past, tell you everything about their school and their parents. In fact, they may think their parents are still there and talk about them. But something that recently happened, they may completely forget about. They'll have breakfast and forget that they had breakfast. So D reminds us of decline in memory. E of dementia tells us about the emotional changes that take place inside a person with dementia. So because they cannot remember, they get very anxious, they may get very depressed, and there could be mood swings. Sometimes they're quiet, sometimes they are very active and want to say things and want to assert themselves. So there are these mood swings that could be that is quite characteristic of people with dementia sometimes. So emotional changes, remember of the emotional changes that take place in them. So you need to be there for them and empathize with them and be able to understand what's happening inside their brain. They're not doing things on purpose. They're doing it because, unfortunately, some part of the brain is affected and they cannot function the way they used to function before, but they need support from other people to be able to function and be able to lead a very good quality life. M reminds us of misplacing things. This is something else that happens very commonly. They'll misplace where they put the keys, they misplace where they put the purse, some passbook or something important, and they'll keep searching for that. So it's important for us to understand there's a possibility of people misplacing things. So there are ways by which we can try to set in some kind of system that everything is kept in a particular drawer such that the chances of misplacing things are decreased. So we need to be aware of the fact that people with dementia could misplace things. E is about error in judgment. So they may not be able to judge what needs to be done. The doorbell rings, what should I do? If there's something on the gas, what should I do about it? If I get a particular smell, what do I do about that? So they may not be able to judge. They see somebody who's come to the house, they may not know what's to be done. They may just let that person come in. So they may not be able to judge appropriately, and therefore it is something we need to keep in mind. The E of dementia, D-E-M-E, E reminds us of the errors in judgment. N is neglecting personal care. So somebody who would always dress up very well, would be speak in span, always carry a bag and go around, now may not be dressing up the way they used to dress up. They may not be having a bath the way they used to. In fact, when you tell them to go to have a bath, they may refuse to go at that time. They say, I already had a bath. Why are you reminding? Why are you telling me to go again? So personal hygiene could be affected in some people with dementia. T is trouble with communication. They may find it difficult to communicate. They want to say things, it's there in their mind, but that right word doesn't come, and they're unable to communicate, and it causes a lot of anxiety in them. So they need support. You sometimes know what they want to say. So you need to support them and say and tell them, okay, I understand what you're trying to say. You're telling me to open the door. So try to be helpful because you need to now know that there is a possibility of them having trouble with communication. I is inability to perform familiar tasks, things that they were always doing. Now they may not be able to do. So that is actually a sign of the important sign of dementia, because a lot of us have memory loss time to time. But it's kind of, it comes off and then it goes off, and then we kind of remember things after that. But if memory loss becomes to such an extent that we are unable to do our everyday activity, then that could be a sign of dementia. That's when we say that there is something wrong, really wrong with this person, and that needs to be investigated. So inability to perform familiar task is an important sign of dementia. And A of dementia talks about apathy, reminds us of apathy. There's a possibility that somebody was very active in, say, a parish group or some other friends group, and would go around, would look forward to some birthday party and call up people. But now there is a lot of apathy. They're withdrawn from work. They do not want to go for any of the social gatherings. When people come to the house, they may want to go and withdraw themselves and sit inside the room. So this is again a sign of dementia. Now, not, dementia, there are many causes for dementia, but what I have seen from experience is not a single person with dementia is the same as the other person. Everyone is unique depending on which part of the brain is affected, to what extent it's affected, how the person is taken care of. So it's in the ball is in our court. Actually, we have to change our attitudes towards people with dementia, and like the sunflower, we need to exchange our energy and be there for them in the month of September and beyond the month of September. If it's possible for you to reach out to somebody with dementia, spend some time with them, spend some happy moments with them. Don't quiz them, just have a nice conversation with them, keep them happy. That will be something that we would something worthwhile that we could do in the month of September. So please do that, and that's my tip for the day.